Chapter 7 SAPP. A gunshot echoed through the large warehouse. The ground stopped shaking and my eyes returned to normal. I could hear the sounds of boots hitting the concrete like a herd of animals storming through. About 15 men carrying guns came blazing in, swarming Jasper soldiers, all wearing matching blue and orange uniforms. Who were these people? Guns were firing, fists were swinging. It was like a war, and I was sitting in the middle of it. A man about my age dragged my chair backward behind a large shelf. While gunfire continued and the fighting carried on between the two groups, the man cut the ropes and freed me from the cuffs. "Thank you," I said. One of Jasper's soldiers charged toward us. I quickly threw my hands up, using my telekinetic energy. He went flying to the wall, which knocked him out. This was becoming my signature move. Glancing across the room, I saw no sight of Jasper. Where'd he go? I tried to rush after him, but the man who'd untied me grabbed my left arm. "Don't worry. One of my guys outside will stop him. He won't get far." With all the chaos, I hadn't even realized who the man was who'd untied me. "Evan?" "Hi, Amber," he said with a winsome smile. Evan was a close high school friend of mine. "What are you doing here?" I asked. He chuckled. "Apparently here to save your asses." "Oh no, Mike. I needed to get to my husband." I stayed low and peeked through the shelves. Mike was still chained to the wall, but as I turned my head, a soldier charged at Evan. "Watch out!" I shouted. The soldier grabbed Evan's arm, causing him to drop his gun. Evan reached for his knife and stabbed the soldier under the chin. Blood squirted all over Evan and the floor. I felt nauseous as I watched the man fall to the floor. My legs were weak. Evan stepped toward me. "Are you all right?" he asked. "Yeah," I whispered. Evan wrapped his arms around me. His strength had grown since we'd been teens. The room was calming, and all of Jasper's soldiers were either dead or they had escaped with Jasper. I ran over to Mike, putting my warm hands on his face, kissing his bloody lips. "The thought of losing you," I gasped. "Not going anywhere, Amber," he said, his face swollen and covered in blood. Evan cut his chains and removed the cuffs with a key card of some sort. I gave Mike a big hug, and he flinched with from the pain. He lifted his shirt. The skin was discolored, most likely broken ribs. He punched him pretty hard. I placed my hands on his side, and he placed his hands over the top of mine. A glow of orange and blue energy emerged from our hands around the wound. Within seconds, he was healed, and the skin returned to a more normal color. He smiled affectionately, and I returned the same smile. We wrapped our arms around each other. Mike then grabbed my wrists, which were red and bloody from me trying to slip out of the cuffs. He held his hands over them as the blue swirls of energy healed the wound. He did the same for my ankles, all bloody from the rope. "That's incredible," Evan said. Not even thinking, we just exposed our healing powers to everyone around. "This is Evan," I said, "a good friend of mine from high school." "Oh yes," Mike recalled, "the friend who joined the military shortly after graduation." They both shook hands. "Thank you for saving us," Mike said. Of his Hispanic descent, Evan had short brown hair and a slightly shadow of facial hair coming in. He had an athletic body. I'd always been jealous of his perfect dark skin. Then a beautiful woman walked over to us. She had straight blonde hair pulled back into a ponytail and sky blue eyes. She seemed kind of standoffish. "Amber, I want you to meet Alex, my wife." I put my hand out. "It's nice to meet you," I said as she shook my hand slowly, guardedly, like she was unsure of me. "We know who you are," she claimed. "We've been following you two for a long time. Your healing gifts are remarkable since—" I walked away while she was talking. Rude on my part, but as I studied the room, I saw her people collecting the weapons from the dead soldiers on the ground. I was astonished by what I saw. All of them had matching blue and orange uniforms that I had never seen before. This wasn't the military. The letters SAPP were across the left arm of the jackets, and an orange and blue yin-yang symbol was just below that. This matched the tattoo on my right upper arm. How was that possible? Then, gazing around the room to see blood everywhere, I lost my focus on the symbol. It was like a scene from a movie. But as I tried to focus on what I thought were adults that saved us, I realized something. They were all children, mostly boys and maybe a few girls. They couldn't be a day over 20, and the youngest appeared to be no younger than 13. I turned around. "Your people, they're all children." Many of them are, Alex acknowledged, but we train them to be powerful warriors. Walk with me and I can explain everything. We all walked through the warehouse as she filled us in on what was going on. We call ourselves SAPP, she explains, which stands for Saving Angels Protection Program. We don't work for any government groups, and the world doesn't know we exist. Evan and I started this group years ago to help protect innocent star children from Jasper's demonic group called DAPA, Demonics Against Protecting Angels. Jasper is a crystal child with the ability to mind control. He's the only one of his kind. His mother was a crystal and his father was a demon. He had the choice between good and evil, but after you broke up with him in high school, the pain was too much for him to handle, so he allowed the demon blood inside to take over, Alex said with a tight voice. She wouldn't look at me. I jumped in front of her. Wait, what are you saying? Is it all my fault? That he is who he is because of me? She didn't answer my question. Alex, Evan snapped at her. Give her a break. A lot has just happened. Yeah, it's whatever, she mumbled and walked around me. I wasn't sure if that was an apology, but she was the least of my concerns at the moment. My apologies for my wife's offensive approach, Evan said. Evan continued the story while we moved on. Jasper put together a group of soldiers who are all demons possessing the body of humans. We call them trackers. For years, he's been building an army to eliminate all star children in fear they will grow stronger than him. He felt he was the strongest until he met you. That's why he wants to have this child. I cut him off. Can we not talk about that? I have a demon baby growing inside me, and I'm not exactly thrilled. Sorry, he paused. Alex and I are twin flames, just like you two. That's why you got the tattoo, right? He pointed at my right arm. I saw it in a dream. It represented fire and ice for the souls of Mike and me. But once was one, now is two, back to one. I knew about the union, but I did not know we were called twin flames. I like the sound of that. Wait, what is a twin flame? Mike asked. Well, you two are, Evan said. Once the union happened, you became united as one. What once was one, now is two, back to one. We call the merging of our souls, our two souls, a union, which makes you twin flames. Are there others? Mike questioned. Yes, Evan responded. Besides us, there are a few others back at camp. Evan turned to me. But Amber, you're different. You're the only indigo who can heal. Since you didn't union with Jasper, he can't have your powers. That's why he did what he did. The baby has your healing power combined with your natural indigo powers and his mind control. Your child could be the most powerful yet dangerous diamond child in the world. Dangerous and diamond just didn't seem like they could be in the same sentence. Many thoughts were running through my head. This was a lot to take in. Mike could sense I felt overwhelmed. He held my hand to help settle my nerves. Instantly, the calming energy moved throughout my body. We walked outside the warehouse to see the moon shining brightly, lighting up the night sky. One boy working for SAPP rushed over to us. He couldn't have been a day over 18. He whispered to Alex. He got away with a few trackers. Shit, Alex snapped. Just go inside and help the others dispose of the bodies. Evan led us to their vehicles, and as we approached, I noticed one in particular. Mike's cheerful smile glowed with excitement, and I knew exactly why. In front of us was a blue Camaro, but not just any blue Camaro. The blue Camaro, our dream car. The color was midnight blue with black ground effects and T-tops. All the years of talking about getting ourselves a blue Camaro, and the beauty sat right in front of us. It was exactly the vision I pictured in my head. Help us defeat this group, and this 1989 Camaro 5-speed with a 350 motor can be yours, Evan said as he pulled out a key from his right pocket. Mike's cold hand released mine, and he stepped closer to the car. He touched the hood with his gigantic smile on his face like he won the lottery. The excitement he felt inside brought joy to my heart. After the rough vacation we had so far, we needed something positive to come about. Amber, you've had your gifts since you were a small child, just like Alex. I was 18 when I discovered my abilities during boot camp. Some of the others were as young as 9. You're special and the most powerful indigo out there. Evan emphasized the last sentence. Why me? What makes me more special than the rest of the star children? I asked. You said Alex was gifted. Why not her? He took a heavy breath in. God chose you to be the first awakened indigo. He faced Mike. and you to be the first to awaken Crystal. You both are the chosen ones. He seemed convinced of this. I wasn't even sure what that meant. It was a little overwhelming. Please, join us, Evan begged. Together you are strong, and with the combined power of all of us, let's end DAPA once and for all. Alex stood there with his flat look. It was very hard to read her without tapping into her thoughts. She would have been a good poker player. Mike and I gave each other approving smiles. Telepathically, I said to him, "We've been waiting for this day. How can we say no to the blue Camaro?" He nodded, giving the okay. "We're in," I said to Evan. "Jasper's going to pay for what he did." "Agreed," Mike said. "But we only have 8 more days before our families expect us home. Is that enough time?" "Yes," Evan said. "We have some ideas." I reached into my pocket. "My phone. It's back at the hotel." "Oh, I forgot." Evan pulled a phone out of his pocket and handed it to me. "One of our crews stopped by the hotel to grab your things. The rest of your belongings are in the car already." A boy handed me my sneakers. "Thank you." Evan handed Mike the key, and I noticed a keychain hanging from it. It was a yin-yang symbol. They shook hands to seal the deal. Mike approached me, smiling ear to ear. "Forever love?" he asked. I smiled. "Forever love."